What's that? Crowd cheers for SSL Challenge? Can it be true? It is. Welcome to a special Monday edition of our final SSL Challenge broadcast. Lots of people in the crowd. This is packed out, Brendan.
I know. People really love SSL Challenge and
That's
the SSL
true.
Challenge casters, of course.
That's
Not
really
us,
true.
but those guys over there.
Yeah, we can pretend like the audience is all like shaped around facing us.
Yeah.
It's actually all facing these guys, your insanely popular Korean casters, and of course, their big fluffy bear.
Yeah, that's Freddy, the Jenner bear. Sits over there. I just gave him that name. I thought it was appropriate.
Well, they also stole our SSL tablet where we watch Twitch chat all day long.
Yeah.
So
I guess
we don't
we'll
get
just
that
have to
this
use our
time around.
phones now. I don't really know.
It's a tragedy. But
We came with some specific wardrobe for our last
that is
day
true.
of
By
SSL
popular
Challenge.
demand,
Yeah.
we want to make this show a show that where we listen to the feedback that we get, right? And so while I was scrolling through Twitch chat, I just saw so many people asking for more wacky socks. So we just had to deliver. There's try number one. That time it was Bunny. We're gonna keep.
I asked you today. I'm like, how many people are gonna walk in front of this
pessimistic.
camera?
I was like, I don't
How
really
many
think that many people are gonna walk in front of it. No, there are many more people to come. He's probably just. I guess he has to do it, right? There's like no other avenue to the player booths than walking right in front of our camera. It's like,
Yeah. Unless you wanted to walk in front of the entire crowd and like. Yeah.
okay, well,
Probably not a good idea.
that's just going to be something we get used to. But yeah, this is our final SSL Challenge broadcast. If you want to watch the Korean stream, you get to see our casters dressed up like. What is that shirt that he's wearing? I have no idea.
It's the V-shirt. It's a V-neck.
I don't think that's quite the V-neck that we were watching.
They're waving to you guys.
Oh, hi. They weren't waving to us. They were waving to the people watching on
They
stream.
were waving to the foreign
I got
fans,
really
of
excited for a
course.
second. I was like, wow, they really like me.
I think they were talking about us because I saw like half the audience just turn and look at us and laugh and then turn back.
Okay, well, maybe they were. Hi to you guys, too. We got a fan that, like, tried to walk by. He, like, gets to the camera and he's like, wait a second. I can't walk in front of there.
Smart guy.
No, that's very true. Very conscientious of him. So let's talk about StarCraft stuff, Valdez. This is a brief rundown of how everything works. Basically, we're giving away 300,000 won to our winners, 200,000 to our losers. It's about 250 and 150 apiece, thereabouts.
Yeah, and you guys can see the translations neatly tucked in. First place advances to SSL Premier. Second and third advances to Fastlane Day 1. And fourth place advances to Fastlane Day 2. So if you look at Impact, Rogue, and Jokji, whoever can win tonight will actually have a good shot at getting fourth and having a chance to make it into Fastlane, where as the top three guys are going to be fighting for that first place spot.
Yeah, for Jokji and Rogue, it's not looking good. They are way down there at the bottom. For Impact, possible, but I think the big story is going to be who makes it out in first place to the next season and will be in SSL Premier. That's what all these guys are playing for. Beyond has been one game away previously, but has a very stiff lineup tonight to go up against as he faces off against Sue.
Very stiff indeed, yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
I like your word choice.
That's what it is, Valdez. I figured it out.
Yeah.
Like, which word should I use to do that? My brain vetoed all the good ones and came up with that. But yeah, it will be Sue versus Beyond, a very, very exciting matchup to end the day.
Yeah.
Of course, we've also got some mirror matches for you guys. We get to watch Impact versus Rogue to start things off, and I think that's going to be pretty exciting because Impact has looked kind of on fire lately, returning to that VSL champion form.
Yeah, he actually is. I mean, especially in ZVZ, if I am not incorrect, he did take out Sue 3-0
That's
here
right.
in SSL Challenge,
In
which
dominant fashion.
yeah,
like,
nobody could
wasn't
have
even
expected
close.
that. That was just amazing by him, but does need to win against Rogue tonight.
Yeah.
in order to have a chance to make it into Fastlane at all, even though it is only day 2.
Yeah, and in the next matchup, we've got Bunny versus Jockji. Could be a little bit rough there, but Jockji is coming off of a win, his first win. We got to congratulate him for that. But also, he's coming out of the hospital. He's back and ready to go. And for Bunny, though, it's actually almost even more important to win because he's got Bjorn kind of nipping at his heels, trying to fight him for that first place spot.
Yeah. Bunny needs to win. I think he will win. To be honest, I think it shouldn't be close. In my mind, I think it should be like 3-0, 3-1 for Bunny. And it's going to be a lot harder for Bjorn to actually defeat Sue, who is also challenging them up at the top.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between SSL Challenge and other leagues like, GSL or at a big tournament like IEM or Super Tournament or something. Like SSL Challenge, like this is where the weird stuff happens. This is where we get down and dirty in like the muck of like a bog somewhere. We're feeling around with our toes for different builds. And we find him down there, we gotta that's how nasty it gets sometimes, especially when our contingent of Protoss players were playing. It always got super weird. Well, now we just have Terrans and Zergs, and it gets a little bit funky fresh down here at SSL Challenge, and certainly anything can happen. We've seen guys like Impact 3-0 Sue, and you're just like, what on earth is happening? I don't know. I glance over to the screen, and Kanata has a giant Zergling that he's hovering in front of his face. I don't know what's happening there.
See, they get a lot of props. Now he has
another
also
Zergling.
a Zergling.
But it's a Carbot
style.
Zergling.
Yeah.
So this is like what we're going to be doing.
What else do you got over
we
there?
could look at you guys, but instead we're just going to watch the abs.
It's a champion shirt. It just says champion on it. I don't see anything else.
It just says champion. That's the SSL
SC2 Pearly 2012-2013
oh my
shirt.
God.
Can I have one of those?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to run over and steal that from Kanata.
Rabbit just sprints on over and I never see him again.
Give me that shirt. That is sick.
I know Wolf is salivating at home.
Wolf's
like
going to jump out of the shadows and gank Kanata on the way over here.
Wolf's going to blink into the arena and steal that.
Yeah, Wolf's our Blink Dark Templar here. We upgraded it just so that he could grab that. Wow, that's actually so cool.
What else do they got over there?
So I'm guessing that they're going to be giving away a bunch of stuff. That would be my guess. But that is so cool. I didn't even know those existed.
That's we need to get one of those.
I would wear that shirt on the broadcast. I don't think I would wear any of their other shirts that they're wearing on the broadcast, but definitely the Pro League shirt.
Kanata's just wearing like a basic sweater.
What does it say? It says another?
Yeah, it just says another. Oh, they got something else over there. It's a StarCraft shirt.
It's just like
Legacy of the Void.
And it's also in a Ziploc bag. I just found that in the pantry.
Evidence, you know?
Yeah, this is the evidence that StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void exists, guys. Oh, a Carbot Zergling shirt, too. Another one.
Yeah?
They just have, like, the swag bag back there. A Zergling Marine shirt?
Well, now we know what they do during the downtime. You remember, like, on a couple of our past broadcasts, we're like, I wonder what's taking so long. What could they be talking about? Well,
they're hand-threading shirts, Valdez.
Yeah, perhaps that is what they're doing. They're giving away a copy of Legacy of the Void.
Of actual StarCraft. Yeah, if you guys want to play StarCraft, all you have to do is buy a plane ticket to Korea.
Yeah, you don't have too much time. Let's hope you live close.
No, you do
somewhere
actually
like
have to
Japan
get here.
Or China. There's probably like one English teacher from one of those locations
if you live in like the
us.
southern part of Korea, you can probably make it over here in time.
Yeah.
I think the flight down to like Daegu, I guess you can't fly to Daegu. You can fly to Busan.
You might be able to.
You can fly to Daegu. That's like a 10-minute flight.
Maybe that's too close then.
Yeah.
Maybe other places like
maybe
Daejeon.
Busan, maybe Ulsan.
Gwangju.
Yeah.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
That's not a Blizzard game.
I guess we're just giving away everything tonight. Are we giving away a Jin Air airplane
He's
too?
Like, no, cover the Dota 2. You can't show them.
I'm not sure why we're...
He keeps waving at the boom camera. I don't know why he's so hyped.
Yeah, every time they get shown over there, we're just like really, really excited.
I love how this has turned into not a StarCraft stream, but an us commentating about the Korean commentator stream.
Well, we're just like pulling out random stuff. They're going to like take off their shoes, give their shoes away.
Yeah.
That's what's next.
Kanata's going to take off his sweater.
Can you give away your Piglet socks, Valdez?
No. These are mine.
Oh. Okay. I'm not giving away my socks either. They're pretty.
Yeah, those are limited edition Rapid socks.
That's true.
Not for sale. What else? Are
I'm
they
just still trying to
talking
figure
about
out what their justification for giving us away is. They're just like, well, we found some stuff back there. Like, we're not really sure what to do with that, but we're just going to give it away, and then that'll be cool, right?
Kanata's sweatshirt says the Univis.
Oh, it's like universe without the R?
Yeah, I think so.
Univis.
Yeah. And it has like 02 and then 3 and then 74.
I'm so confused.
Maybe those numbers are significant in some way.
Eventually, we'll get to cast StarCraft, and then it'll all make sense, Valdez. But not until that moment.
Yeah.
I'm glad things are getting kind of wacky here on the final day of SSL Challenge. It's been kind of a fun season. We've had all kinds of things happen. During the regular season, I was actually thinking about just Stage 2. I was like, wow, this has been a short season. But no, there was an entire Stage 1 that had Protoss players in it. We got rid of those guys, and now we're only Terran and Zerg here. But it has been a pretty cool season. I've been happy that everybody could join us.
Yeah. It's so weird that we had 4 Protoss players and all 4 of them dropped out.
It was they all
SOS,
also,
Zest, Hush, and Patience.
Like 3 of them came from Premier and
dropped
dropped down from Premier. These are like, I don't know, this is like the StarCraft version of like Vulcan Tech Bargains or something, going all the way down from the highest level of competition all the way to the lowest. That was a cross-game meme right there.
Whoa.
So only 90s kids will get that one. But for the
meme.
StarCraft viewers out there, eventually we will have that. There will be cool things on the line. You'll get to see things like, I think this is Bjorn's final offline performance. Were we in the background of that shot?
I don't think so.
No, that was pointed the other way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was working on that.
I just see the Korean commentators going on and on and on about
Every
whatever
once
they're
in a
talking
while.
about, and Impact sitting in the chair just like this, like.
He just wants to play.
He's
like, no, we have to keep.
At least it's not at 10 p.m. tonight.
Oh, that is true. We should mention that. It's only going to be at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Well, that's when we started the show. That's not when we're starting the StarCraft broadcast. That happens in like 30 minutes or so. So buckle in. We've got some Talk Craft on the way.
Talk Craft, man.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Jinx. Give me a soda.
Do you drink soda?
No, I do not.
Okay.
You'd have to give me like a hot six or something.
You know what I found at a convenience store near my house
What did you
is Summersby apple cider.
I don't know what that is.
It's in a can. It's like hard apple cider, alcoholic, and it's in one of those tall boy cans, and you can get 4 for 10.
I'm a tall boy.
You're a tall boy. I'm like a slightly above average boy. But that's like going to change my life.
Wow.
I had like 4 of those 2 days ago. I'm like, this is just my new meta ever, because apple cider is awesome. I know you like apple cider.
I'm a big fan of like actual spicy apple cider. Like the stuff with the apple and the cider in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the soft variety.
Not the fake soda.
No, I'm
it version.
I'm a soft apple cider kind of guy.
Okay.
Like when you walk into the department store in the middle of the winter and they have like the apple cider samples inside, like that's my jam.
I never really saw too much of that up in New York.
Yeah, no, that was pretty popular down in Texas.
Which is weird. I think they probably have like apple farms in New York.
I bet that's where apples come from,
area.
Valdez. They don't get delivered by the stork anymore. They have farms now.
The Big Apple for a reason. Maybe they have some apple farms over there.
It's because the shape of New York City is apple.
Yeah.
It's a big.
Yeah.
They actually have like a big apple there, right? Like as a joke. That's just like how we have size hands down in Gangnam because of the song. It's like,
size hands?
Yeah.
His hands.
Like the bronze casts of his hands. The giant statue. We let him keep the hands. We're not quite that backwards over here.
See, I wasn't lying about Impact.
To be fair, he looked exactly like that last week as well.
Same glasses and
He's
everything.
looking down at his scoreline and he's like, that's not how it was supposed to go.
He's like, I might just barely make Fastlane Day 2.
Well, that's the thing about Impact. All of his games are just insanely close. He's only won 1 out of 3 series, but he's 8-9 for matches played. So, I mean, he has just really been fighting it out. It just hasn't been working out. The one series he has won is versus Sue. So if you can 3-0 Sue, then what can you do against a guy like Ro.5?
What can't you do if you can 3-0 a Sue?
You're right, Valdez.
And Rogue, or Log,
Yeah,
doesn't have the same set score line that Impact does. He hasn't really been that strong. We were expecting him to come into the second stage and be one of the guys up on top. We thought it was going to be Byun, Su, and then Rogue, and then maybe Bunny number 4. But Bunny has been impressing, and Rogue has kind of been
a little bit lackluster.
Yeah, a little bit off. Hey, that's my line.
I've learned. I figured it out, Valdez.
You're like an AI or something. You're like slowly learning the way that I speak.
The innovation of casters. No, if I was the innovation of casters, I would talk about the maps and Whirlwind, Abyssal Reef, Ascension to Ire.
That's how they're going to make AI casters. Remember, we were having a discussion about AI bots in the chat.
That's right.
That can like change the discussion to go in some direction.
Sock puppets.
Eventually, they're going to have AI casters that just learn someone's style.
And then perfectly emulate it?
Perfectly emulate it. Like, what if we could just have an AI learn to cast like Tasteless? Like, Tasteless buys this AI. He's like, I want to work even less.
The Taste Bot 9000.
I'm going to put my Taste Bot in for like round of 16, round of 8, and then the real Tasteless comes in for round of 4 and finals. That would be pretty hype.
It's not Task Bot, it's Taste Bot.
Yeah, Taste Bot.
We're going to get a Valdez bot, the Rapid Bot. Rapid Bot's going to try to cast as fast as I can, but can't do it.
That producer like tried to sprint through, but then thought second about it and just
wait a second. There's a
like
camera
really going
there.
crazy. Yeah.
I never understand when producers do it. Like if it's a random fan, they don't see the camera. I'm like, okay, but like the producer like literally set that camera up right there, and then he just like runs in front of it.
He made that
so
a
like,
thing.
I don't know.
Also, if he really wanted to, he could just like prone crawl on the floor.
Oh, that is true.
We
We could like build a trench below it.
Because the camera only goes up to like there.
Yeah, that's true. It's actually
definitely a spot for him to go through.
What's this? StarCraft, Valdez. Say it ain't so. I want to talk about these guys' jerseys more.
It's 7-16, 7-17. We've been sitting here for 17 minutes talking about other stuff that's not StarCraft, but finally, Rapid, we have a chance to talk about StarCraft. The ZVZ, I'd say Impact is the favorite after his games against Sioux.
You know, I would too. Looking at the predictions, I guess we'll talk about those once we get into our first game of our first series of the night. It's a best of 5 between Impact and Rogue. All right, we got to sync it up, Valdez. Here we go.
Fly better fly.
Jin Air. Oh,
that was
nailed
nice.
it. Only took us a whole season, but we got it.
We did it. Season 2 as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Impact, our red Zerg player, playing for Team Dead Pixels. I think that was a fan cheer that I was talking over. Here's his opponent in the blue. Is Jin Air Green Wings Rogue.
The fans aren't really all together on those tiers.
No, it always
kind
takes
of
them a few games to sync up.
They got to sync up.
Just like it took us a few days.
They're all actually robots as well. You just need to have the AI slowly learn how to do it.
Some Mr. Destructoids in chat and in our studio, IRL.
Imagine if that technology existed and the government was hiding it from us, Rapid.
I remember there was like a cardboard fold-up Mr. Destructoid mask that was going on. It was like TwitchCon or something. Saw a bunch of people wearing that. It was either that or Creepers from Minecraft. I couldn't tell. They're basically exactly the same.
Could be both. Maybe they had both, and you just couldn't distinguish them.
I don't know.
Not really sure.
So I was talking about predictions for these games. I know you just said probably Impact after his last performance. I would agree. I think Rogue is on, if they're both having a good day, Rogue is the better player, but Impact has been looking like super hot fire lately, so we really got to put some respect on his name. When I was doing predictions for this and looking at some fan predictions, they gave Impact like a 0% chance to win. I was like, what? This guy's actually pretty good, and he's been winning lately. And then I checked Illegal Act, and it was like 70% chance for Rogue to win and 30% for Impact. And I was like, I don't really know about that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would definitely give Impact quite a bit of credit coming into the series.
It may take into account a lot of the stats from, 2, 3, 4 months ago, but...
Is that PD Gahi that they were talking about?
I didn't have a chance to read it, actually, but...
That's pretty funny. Just keeping an eye on the Zerglings as they come out on the map for the beginning of that, or beginning of the game. This is where we do the caster thing and be like, DAE Whirlwind is a large map, Valdez.
It's also 4-player.
Wow! Is this one of our largest maps in the map pool?
Yeah,
Along
I
with,
think you're
what's
right.
that other map, Frost?
And this map has been around for a long time.
It certainly has. We talk about ZVZ being like a knife fight on rollerblades. I think I've said that at least 10 times this season.
Look at this play by Impact, though, coming over with 6 Zerglings, and he's not stopping there.
And a drone.
Yeah. Well, no, that's Rogue with the drone.
Oh, Rogue's with the drone.
Yeah.
It's like, which player name did you say? So he skates the drone on through, and is now going to go make a hatchery with it. But the Zerglings follow it, and are not in time to cancel it. Wow.
But what about the others that are coming over? We had 14 more and then 10 more.
Yeah, this is a bold move, Valdez. We'll see if it pays off.
Bold move, Cotton. Trying to go for some trades here. Impact doing a good job running them around so far. It looks like these guys are on even numbers of Zerglings at this point, but maybe slightly more for Impact, actually.
Yeah, when you're watching ZVZ Ling fights, what you want to do is look for the concave and see which group of Zerglings is wrapping on. No, that's a terrible position, but it might be all according to Keikaku. Here comes some Banelings in. One of them hits, the other one will not. More on the way, though, so maybe this is enough to save the hatchery.
Let's see the micro here from Impact. He needs to take out these Banelings. They're all alone. And finally, some Lings do come into support. So the Baneling Nest really going to help out here.
Okay, does need a good connection on this Baneling in order to turn things around. Can he get... Oh, my God, Valdez. So intense.
There's that knife fight you were talking about. Impact with this aggression did get his third base up before Rogue, and he has a follow-up of Roaches as well. Non-stop aggression out of Impact.
Yeah, and I love that Impact is just playing it safe and standard. He's like, I'm going to build a lot of Zerglings early, going to build a lot of Roaches right after that. And here come finally Roaches in for... oh, actually, no, that was just the Roach Warren coming down. Wow, that's a little bit delayed there for Rogue. I got to say, he's going to have a lot of Zerglings and that home field advantage, but he does need to protect these Banelings and get off maybe at least one hit. I mean, he's losing a lot of these Banes for free.
Good scout here by Impact, gets on in with that speed lane. Look at how many Roaches there are already. 12 out on the map.
Is this where I get to use my one word yikes? I think this is a pretty...
No. I think there's going to be a better. I think there's going to be a better time.
I mean, I hope so, but this certainly seems like we're getting it out of the way early. That's a lot of Roaches, Valdez.
I will allow you a sheesh.
Ooh.
How about that?
Okay, I'll take what I can get. Here coming the Roaches. Those Banelings are going to have to head for the hills. There are quite a bit of Zerglings here, but if he positions the Roaches well, but no, he gets everything surrounded. That's actually going to be a great trade here for Rogue, theoretically. The Roaches forced to head for the hills, and they will be the ones running away as Rogue takes a great fight.
Yeah, that he does. That's about as good of a surround you could have hoped for. And Impact kind of just let him do it as well. But with this aggression, it looks like he might be able to shut down some mining at the third base.
Wow.
Not much left over here for Rogue.
Yeah, gets all the drones, and he's even been able to pick off 3 or 4 Roaches at the same time. The Zerglings that'll pop out from his hatchery will die pretty much instantaneously, and it's going to be up to the Queens to come over here. Can they transfuse the Zerglings to turn the tide? Oh, look, it's a nice concave there for Impact, but there is this home field defender's advantage for Rogue kicking in.
Nice snipe there on that hatchery right at the end. He is going to lose a bunch of his units for it, but that is such a huge moment. You have 3 bases back at your own base, and with that aggression, you take away so much of the larva, the production, the mining here for Rogue. And it's such a big map, like we were talking about for Whirlwind, that Rogue can't exactly go across the map and try to punish him at this point.
Definitely not, and I love what Impact is doing. He's saying, look, I threw away a little bit of my army, but I got the damage done. What if I just... Oh, wow, he actually doesn't commit to killing the Queen. Might have lost all the Zerglings, but now Impact is just having to stay back and play defensively. I love it. He just looks to be in a great position, and truly it has been Impact's aggression this season that has garnered him most of his wins in games where he does win. He's just very good at being the aggressor in these series.
Yeah. Especially in this matchup, ZVZ, ZVT. I think his ZVP was a little bit more defensive. I think that definitely does say something about the Protosses we had here in the first stage, but you're definitely right. Now that we have entered second stage and he's fighting only Zergs and Terrans, it's been all about his aggression. It's really been working out for him here.
Now, this is a moment that could actually be pretty meaningful. +1 ranged weapons is about to finish here for Impact, so his roaches will be very, very strong, but I guess we're not really going to have a lot of fighting here. Rogue doesn't want to head all the way across the map, and Impact certainly isn't going to bust out here as he has all the roaches running across the screen. This is my mulligan for the day, guys. I say that and I'm looking in horror as the words are coming out of my mouth and I see the roaches start to come out here. I'm like, Impact isn't going to move. But I can't stop the words.
You're trying to like rewind the tape.
It doesn't work that way. I can't go back in time and fix my terrible call. But yeah, the roaches are coming out here. There are Ravagers, Queens, and a bunch of roaches popping out now for Rogue, but there might just be too much here for Impact.
Looks like it. He got too many big advantages earlier on in this game, and this is just the follow-up to it at the end. Everything is going to go down here for Rogue. Looks like a cleanup for game number 1 for Impact.
Yeah, even workers, but not for long. All those workers at the third base are going to go down, and there's just too many roaches. Impact takes game number 1.
What a beast. Love the play there, the aggression at the third base. I wonder why he chose that build exactly. Generally, we see some aggressive builds come in on big maps just to like fool your opponent, and I feel like it did a little bit, but it's also the third base is pretty far away from the natural. You can get your Zerglings over there. There's a lot of paths to get over there, stuff like that.
Also, I feel like you have to play to the position that you're at in the game. Like, if you know you're behind, you should probably, like, maybe, you know, when you're trying to retake the hatchery, right, build a spine crawler, or at least like you'll place your queens defensively. Even in the early game, you saw the initial drone from Rogue that was going over to build the third base. It was being chased by 3 Zerglings already. Just things were not starting out the way that Rogue wanted to. But Impact there takes game. Impact, there we go. Sorry, it's been a little bit rough.
Frog in your throat?
Yeah, I got a few of those. I don't know what I was gonna say. I had a frog joke there. I was like, no, it's probably not gonna work out.
Okay. It's okay.
See, that time, I was about to say something dumb, like my Impact's not going to move out phrase, and just stopped it ahead of time. So we can all be a little bit more thankful about that. For some reason, we're cheering in the crowd. I don't know. Maybe they showed us on camera for a second.
Probably.
That's it. I think I figured it out.
Yeah, so that game number 1 kind of falls into our theory of Impact should be able to take this one.
Yeah,
shows
also,
you that stats aren't really the only thing that you can think about when you are going into a series.
Unless you're thinking about the SSL Premier Finals.
Yeah, well.
It'll be coming up in a little less than a week, right?
Yeah, on Sunday, so 6 days.
Sunday. That's when the SSL Premier Finals will be.
Sunday, Bloody Sunday.
That's when it'll be.
I think it's going to go to Game 7. That's going to be really crazy. I think it's going to be super sick. Yeah.
So, if you guys can't get enough of SSL, you can watch it right now as our final broadcast of SSL Challenge commences. We've also got, Fastlane coming up in not too long. Have more information about that later. But also, Premiere on Sunday. So lots of stuff out there. I was reading some comments from our global fans, Valdez.
Oh,
and,
boy.
These are
what
actually
do they say?
Pretty good. They say the SSL Challenge fashion sense is on point.
Oh,
Big fan.
I retweeted that tweet.
Yeah, what else do we have?
I definitely agree.
What's up with Valdez's schoolboy upper body, old man lower body?
Yeah, I look like a Korean ajashi or something with these socks on.
Got a hello from Retro Game Bar from Miwa. Shout out to everybody watching over there.
Yeah.
Big fans.
We're famous.
Yeah.
We're on TV.
That's in fact
They can hear our voice in the bar.
We could say whatever we want.
It might be a little bit low on the volume. I'm not sure.
That's maybe true, but either way, whoa! We get a bunny cam just for a second.
Second time.
Strangely enough, when Bunny walks around, he doesn't actually hop anywhere. That was my biggest sadness when I first saw Bunny IRL.
What if there was a player that actually committed that hard to like your image? You're like,
named himself Cheetah and just ran everywhere.
Yeah. Or his name is like Monkey and he's just like going like this all over the place, like eating bananas.
That's everybody I play against on the ladder, Valdez.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So here's game number 2, guys. Impact has taken 1 game, and this is a best of 5. So Rogue will have a little bit of comeback time, but we'll need to kick it into high gear. Here's the SSL Challenge. Final day continues.
It's happening.
That's my best attempt at hyping it up.
And the map is going to be Abyssal Reef for game number 2, so let's hop on to that. right now. Feels weird to have an audience here. Cheering for SSL Challenge.
They're watching us.
I know.
Down in the red, or up in the red, I guess I should say, our Dead Pixels Zerg Impact.
And his opponent, down in the bottom right, it is Ro.5. And it looks like Impact's being aggressive again.
Yeah, there's that early pool. Wait to see if there's a gas. Doesn't look like it.
Looks like a 12 pool.
Yeah. So it's not going to be the most aggressive, super ultra fastest pool, but I guess you wouldn't really expect that on this map either, but it's still going to be very aggressive. And in response to the other side, man, we've got a hatchery coming down for Rogue.
Might be in a bit of trouble here. Depends on, you know, how early he can get the scout off. I think this guy says he's 30% done with his army thing. I don't know what to call it, like his army service. Yeah, there it is.
Well, cool. Mixing in some StarCraft.
Yeah, he's on vacation, came down, spending his time wisely. Here come the Lings. We're getting some like crowd interaction on that Korean
The crowd
cast.
loves our Korean commentators, by the way, guys. So you're just going to hear cheers all night long. This is the reveal. 6 Zerglings already on the way. And this is not what Rogue wants to see.
Here we go. Gonna be 8 Lings, pretty fast right at his hatchery. We see the pool coming down, but it is pretty late. Going to go for the hatchery snipe. This is basically what you want to do, because if the opponent is good, you respect him. Usually the drone micro is good enough to deal with your 8 Lings. So might as well just go for the hatchery, follow it up with your own hatchery back at home, and then get away with the damage that you have gotten.
Yeah, and it does look like Rogue is just really not going to go for anything. I mean, just now getting Zerglings as the hatchery dies. So great play, beautiful execution. Impact takes an early lead. Just to run away from the chain or the broodlings that come out, but then returns to make sure that he can kill off this egg, or at least the Zerglings to pop out of it. So yeah, keeping this advantage here. He actually, I think, has the superior number of Zerglings even still.
Yep. Looks like he does, but now with the high ground, the Queen, and the rest of the Lings, Impact will have to back away. But as you guys can see, the trade is done. The hatchery is up here for Impact. He delays the remake of the hatchery of Rogue for as long as possible. Tries to get as much value out of these Lings as well.
Yeah, Zergling Speed's about to finish here, and it's just now, or for Rogue, Impact, I believe, is just now starting his. So that will be a big difference. So if Rogue just pumps a bunch of Speedlings, that's a place you can actually use to come back from, but you'd have to bust down the ramp, and that's probably not going to be super easy. Rogue taking his natural in, wow, double, oh, this is crazy town, Valdez.
I guess that's Rogue's MO for the series. He wants to play a macro game. He doesn't really want to, you know, get down and dirty. He's not going to add a Baneling nest and go attack Impact right now.
I had a hatchery against Zerglings and I lost, so now I'm going to build 2 hatcheries against even more Zerglings. We'll see how that goes.
Well, he needs to find out if there are extra Zerglings. That should give him the tell.
Yep.
And a Baneling nest immediately started here. The speed is still a whiles off, as you were saying before, but non-stop Zergling production out of Impact.
Speed's nice, but you can see what this, I don't know, Valdez, I still think this is going to be pretty difficult. It starts a spine crawler there for Rogue, so I mean, at least he will be making the defenses, but that is still in production, and this natural could be threatened once again.
And the Lings come in here. Impact has the higher number, 38-17. He is going to destroy this fight.
Oh no, and even now the Queen gonna be caught on the ramp. There are more Zerglings coming down, but even more on the way from Impact.
Nice around here. We'll take out that Queen. Not enough energy. 12 energy, as the observer shows us. Gets the second surround with more and more Lings coming. Impact, he just doesn't want to play a late game. He's like, we're going to end it now.
I don't know. This is the Pirate Warrior style from Impact. He is just going all in aggression, and building hatcheries is not a good strategy to have against players that want to build Zerglings against you. All right, oh no!
Boy.
Wow, that could have been so much worse. I was a little bit scared.
That was still pretty bad at the end of it all. And he does get those 2 hits, especially the second one. But that is the end of Rogue's production here.
Yeah, he just can't make anything. He's going to have like 2, 3 Zerglings to come out.
Yeah, that's what he has. He has the Spine and a Queen. He's going to desperately try to hold the drones attacking Lings, but it's not enough.
Natural goes down again with no third base as well. This is just going to set Rogue back to the Stone Age.
Dude, this guy is just non-stop with the aggression. He never lets off the gas pedal. It's such a cool style to watch in ZVZ. And if you guys will notice, there's no third hatchery from Rogue either. Does get canceled.
Yeah, he canceled that one way earlier, and he's going to try for a natural. Again, this is the game where Rogue just keeps putting down hatcheries, and Impact keeps killing them off. We just have to see how many times that needs to happen for the game to end.
This time he's thinking about some economic damage. Queen in a good spot.
Yeah, it's going to be protected pretty well. Drone's getting that damage done. I mean, this is going to be easy for Rogue to hold. Lose a little bit of mining time, but I don't think he's too worried about that. Just more and more floods of Zerglings coming across the map. Another one in here on the natural. It'll get the Queen and maybe even the drones as well. The Spinecrawler will push it back, but man, how long is Rogue going to have to hang on? Impact now going to come with Roaches as his second round.
Yeah, I know this is just such an oppressive style. It's like Rogue can't even breathe. He's being suffocated. He's like, can I make drones now? And he tries to. He's like, how about a hatchery? Impact's like, no, sit down. Make Lings, defend my attacks.
Yeah, do not press go, pass go, do not construct additional hatcheries. Well, speaking of the additional hatcheries, it's a third hatch on the way again for Rogue. He has taken quite a few losses. Now, the question for me as this game does continue is, how much is too much? Has Impact overcommitted to killing off these hatcheries and lost too much because of it? Because, I mean, if you look at Rogue, he is going to be able to get his natural back up, as you can see here. The third hatchery will get up this time as well, and the Roaches are going to be pooled on Impact's side of the map, so Rogue will have a chance to maybe right the ship a little bit.
Well, he is pretty far behind. I mean, he's still struggling to even make a Roach Warren at this point, and you can see the crazy production and just how far ahead Impact has gotten in this game. It's 38 army supply to 7, and Rogue still doesn't have his Roach Warren completed. The Lair's going to do not so much good if he can't even make units with it or get upgrades with it because he can't afford it.
Bringing a Spinecrawler across the map. Impact going for the next level strats.
I feel like, you might as well, right? You already made it, but at the same time, this is kind of BM. This way, it's like, there we go, GT. He sees the spine.
He doesn't even make it across there. Impact is like, God, this guy just won't get out. Oh my God. That's what he did to Rogue that game. No, it's the SSL Mosquito out of the way, and it's Rogue out of the way in the second game of the night.
This is kind of what I was expecting. I said either 3-0 or 3-1, and Rogue still doesn't have an answer.
It might be a short night, Valdez.
At least for the first series.
Yeah, so the last 2 SSL Challenge broadcasts, we've had 14 out of 15 games and 13 out of 15 games. Yeah. So we've just been going a little bit late here. But not only are we starting earlier, we're also maybe having shorter series. I'm getting hopeful, Valdez.
Imagine if there were more Zergs in this league. How many Zergs did Impact play against in the VSL? Because this guy's ZVZ is crazy.
That is very true. Somebody can go back, and this is where it becomes an interactive stream, and somebody goes back and Googles just to tell us exactly how many Zergs Impact had to play to claim that victory. And even though it was a little bit ago on a different patch, he is just looking on fire. And Rogue, a guy that was so up and coming, Rogue was the new hotness for a while. The sexy boy not looking so hot tonight.
He's going to have to cool down, even though he's in the red chair and he's on a Genera airplane. But we'll see what he can do. Can he make a return? We'll have to wait and see. Let's jump into game number 3 on Ascension to Iron.
Here we go. Fly Better Fly onto possibly our last map of the series. Impact up 2 games. And there he is in the red, still playing for Dead Pixels.
Yeah, nothing. That hasn't changed over the course of the series.
Well, neither has their player color or their race, but we still have to say both of those two. Here's his opponent in the blue. It's Jin Air Green Wings Rogue.
Rogue has been in the bottom right all 3 games.
Yep.
Impact was in the top right on Whirlwind, so we can't say the same about him. But look at this. Impact, he does 2 games of pure nonstop aggression. Engine, one of our casters we have here for Premier, is in the arena. But yeah, Impact goes nonstop aggression, never letting off the gas pedal in games 1 and 2. And then he's like, okay, let's make a hatchery. Let's change it up.
I mean, I do love to see something different. I mean, this time it looks like it'll be maybe a little bit better for Rogue. He is probably going to get that hatchery up this time. But, an early 3rd hatch from Impact. This is the true mind game, Valdez. You go
really
nonstop, balls to the wall aggression in 2 games. And then game 3, you just go 3 hatch.
Exactly. It's just
3 hatch gas. Like, this is the greediest you can get.
It's an excellent way to play a best of 5, especially for ZVZ, where there are so many threats that can come across the map in less than 15 seconds, where you have no time to react. And especially on a map like Ascension to Ire, where it's extremely wide. It takes so long for the Overlords to scout, and in a mirror map matchup, you don't want to use a drone to scout. So instead, he's like, okay, I know you can't get the scout on my triple hatch for so long that I'm just going to do it.
Also, it'll be interesting to see where Rogue's Overlord goes to. If he goes to check the 3rd base and then come up from the bottom, or if he just goes straight to the natural. Because if he doesn't scout this, and okay, it does look like the Overlord is, or at least the 2nd Overlord is en route, or en route to the 3rd base. But it will be a while. En route, en route.
Yeah, en route, en route.
Wow, we're just mixing up all the languages tonight. Yeah. Definitely not. So, yeah, for all intents and purposes, Impact has gotten away with his 3rd hatchery, and this is going to be a big deal because, I mean, this is like killing off one of Rogue's hatcheries.
Yeah.
Except you don't have to do anything. You just take it for free. So
look at Rogue's response. He makes a baneling nest safely. He's not making lings. He's not trying to get aggressive. He sees the creep now. Let's see if he changes his mind, but this is just all safety out of Rogue. At least he has his own 3rd coming up in decent timing.
This is where the true mind game is, that he skipped his natural and he's only going 2 hatch. And he comes across the map way more aggressively than you expect. But no, Rogue's going to scout for that, scout out for that, and see everything that's happening. But yeah, he's going to be down a hatchery, just now throwing down a 3rd. And I mean, for Rogue, I'm actually kind of worried. This could be his last game of the SSL Challenge.
This is not your way to go out, right? You wanted to get 4th place. You wanted to have a shot at SSL Premier, but it's kind of sad to see where Rogue went. I mean, he did so good in IEM Shanghai. He won the whole damn thing. And then he came over to GSL, made it through a fantastic group. Crazy group with Sue, with Dark, some really strong Zerg players. I forget the Terran. Was it a Terran? There was another guy.
Alive, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was Alive. He made it, no, I think it was someone stronger, like TY or something crazy. It was a super stacked group.
Yeah, it was super stacked. Now, this is the, oh wow, great scout here from Rogue. He will be able to get in and see everything that is or isn't there. He'll be able to get in and get a full scout of absolutely everything inside. And I mean, on the other side, how does Rogue react to this? I was not paying attention. I think there was something built and then canceled.
I didn't quite see.
Okay, well, we are going to go into Roach Warrens on both sides, so this will look pretty normal.
Yeah. But, I mean, just to return to my point, Rogue, he was doing so well for like 2 months, 1.5 months, and then now it's a totally different player that we're looking at in the booth. Someone who is now 0-2 against Impact. And it definitely goes back to his inconsistency issues that we used to have, especially even last year.
No, well, I do want to agree with that. Like, Rogue's GSL was fantastic, and even in online tournaments, like things like the Ballistic Sprawl, he was just looking fantastic as well. The only Zerg left in that tournament's playoffs, so really excited to see that. But when it comes to offline, man, it's a struggle, but he will get in here. Oh no! Whoa, the sickest baneling connections, even more, and that might just be too much. Wow, Rogue, talking about how he might be behind, but not when you land connections like that.
Yeah, definitely a nice bit of damage to the Zerglings that Impact did have. You guys can see the unit tab. It is relatively even. There are a couple more queens here for Rogue, which is definitely going to help out on 3 bases.
Absolutely. Well, here we come back in again. Now, roaches are on the way. The first few popping out, so unless he wants to commit to drone damage, oh, the sickest Ravager morphs. Impact saves both of those roaches. He is going to lose the queen, but not much else.
Yeah, another nice snipe on the queen, really keeping that number low. Impact not even remaking the queens at this point. I'd like to see exactly what he's got, but it's been a big hit to the production and the mining at the third base here a couple of times over now for Rogue, so he has a pretty big attack now coming across the map, bigger than what Impact has.
I mean, it does have to travel the entire distance, so hey, if you're going to try to come back, or you're going to have some time to prepare for this. Impact is roaches at the front, some Ravagers there as well. Where are the queens? I don't see any queens down there to defend.
He's been lacking. They've been sniped a bunch of times, and I think this attack is just going to kill Impact unless he gets like the perfect hits with his banelings on all the lings and then somehow holds with the defensive advantage.
Well, here we go. Things grouping up at the front. Rogue coming in, looking to get the surrounds. Baneling hits are actually going all the way around, trying to get good surface area. And, oh, look at Impact's army. It's just melting under the pressure.
Yeah, Rogue has just got way too much stuff. Those small advantages that he built up finally coming through for him, and he wins a game. GG.
GG. Rogue with a slower third hatchery, but better aggression. Some sick Baneling hits, and he is able to take our third game and keep the series alive.
Yeah, I think we've learned what it is. You know, we just have to question Rogue's ability a little bit, and then all of a sudden he turns into a really strong player. So the caster curse is real in a way, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't want to say I totally predicted that. I mean, Rogue is really, really strong, so I wouldn't even be surprised to see him maybe take another game, but seeing a reverse sweep would be pretty impressive.
Be pretty baller.
I mean, yeah, that would be just super sick. To go down 0-2 in a best of 5 and then come back from that afterwards, that's pretty insane. Now, I mean, we've talked about Rogue and how the highest of Rogue's highs are just like so insanely good, like better than almost every other Zerg player out there, but it's just inconsistent. He's been up and coming because he's been able to string together some wins, but it's all about winning, when it counts. Games like tonight, when it really matters.
Yeah. You can't even use the excuse of like, oh, it's a late tournament, our game started at 11:30. Now we're starting at normal time here for Korea, 7 p.m. So, yeah, he did look good in that last game at least. I'm going to be curious to see what we see in game number 4. Is Impact just going to say, okay, I tried a macro game, it didn't work, let me just try to kill him this time again? I think if the map is, if it lends itself to that kind of play, I think that's what we should see out of Impact.
I would expect to see just more consistent aggression here from Impact.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he tried that 3-hatch start again. I mean, it was a pretty greedy start, and he got away with it, but then fell apart against the pressure. So now that brings us to game number 4 of our first series of the night. Zerg versus Zerg with Impact still on match point. Rogue has brought it back, but can he keep the wins coming? It's all coming down to this.
Here we go. Game number 4 will be on Odyssey, 2-player map. Down in the bottom right, it is Impact for the first time. They'll be spawning down there. Up in the top left, this is Rogue, who is going for his own aggression. Looks like 13-12 out of Rogue.
Yeah, this is the GSL Zerg's build, the no regret special, the innovation killer. It's out here. Gonna be some targeted aggression coming in, and well, here's that hatchery coming down for Impact. How the tables have turned, Valdez.
I know, it's weird. I feel like it should be Rogue down in the bottom right and Impact in the top left, but it really does highlight the mind games that you do get into ZVZ, right? Because we were saying Impact, he's super aggressive, he's always been super aggressive, and then all of a sudden he changes it up, and Rogue, a guy who is not really known for being very aggressive, constantly game after game, is now attempting to mix it up himself. So let's see what he can do. in terms of damage. It's triple hatch again out of Impact, Super Greed.
I don't know about this, Valdez. We're going to get some turnabout being fair play here. Rogue is just going to come across the map and bop him. Like, I mean, I can't really foresee too much of a different future. Now, he is pooling his Zerglings instead of setting them straight out across, so maybe wanting to go for ultra, super, mega surprise, but at least this will give Impact time for his spawning pool to complete. He might not have much time left after that, but yeah. Here come the Zerglings. Oh, he's going to sneak them around out of Overlord vision, too. Wow.
He just saw where the first Overlord was with his own Overlord, and so he's going to go all the way around. Odyssey is one map where you can do this.
This is really cool, Valdez. I love to see him mixing it up. And, you know, to be also kind of ironic, it was Impact that first used to do these styles. Back when he was on SKT, that was one of the defining moments. He would just sneak Zerglings around and either get scouts off or surround Yorlings, and he's just going to have nothing but non-stop, one base, one hatchery, but more than one Zergling, as Rogue is about to find out, or Impact.
He goes over, he sees the third base, he's like, oh, I guess I just win.
There's a base there, yeah. You probably just don't have a whole lot of anything.
This is looking like a build order win here for Rogue, pretty much. I mean, we'll see if he can put on the miracle defense.
Let's play how many hatcheries beats how many other hatcheries. 1 versus 3, probably going to be the one. Here come the Banelings! Everything explodes.
Yeah, down it all goes, and the drones, there's not much left. GG.
That is the hardest boppening we have seen in a while, Valdez. What a game and what a series this has turned out to be.
The reverse sweep, is it real? Did you call it Rapid? I think it might be, because Rogue seems to have gotten into his head now.
It's the sweep on, sweep off. Ow. This is the point in time we're at. Rogue is just killing it. By it, I mean Impact. Probably the hardest build order win we have just seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, that's as bad as it gets, right? 3 hatch before gas, before pool.
Against
the other guy is going 13-12 and he hides it.
I mean, that's just insane. Wow, yeah. Rogue just really kicking in the clutch. In both games, Impact plays aggressively, he wins. And then both games, he tries to take a super greedy start, he loses. So I'm like, okay, this is where we spam our, colon-thinking colons and just kind of wonder what might be the winning strategy for Impact. Maybe he should try to kill the dude.
Yeah, I think he just returns to it in Game 5. We were wrong about Game 4, where we're like, yeah, of course he's going to turn on the aggression now and just go kill him because that's Impact, right? It's not what happened.
No, certainly is not.
Man, Impact, I wonder how he's feeling. He looks kind of just very laid back. He doesn't look like he's really affected by it at all, actually, which is good. Good to see.
Our crowd is really affected by literally everything the Korean casters are saying.
I mean, I've said this multiple times, but the head guy, the host, is a former comedian, so he knows how to control an audience and a stage, and he's doing that pretty well.
No, they are super great.
We could try to extra seats.
Yeah, there's actually
extra
we have
people
a full
that are
house
flooding
here.
in.
This is so cool because usually it's tournaments like SSL Premier that draw the big crowds. You got guys like Innovation and big name players there, but this is really cool. What a way to end our final day of SSL Challenge. We've got a packed out studio, games on the line that really do matter, and crazy hijinks from our Korean commentators as well.
I took a close look at your socks over the
My socks? Oh yeah, no, these are balling out of control.
That's next level, man. I just brought the piglet socks. You brought a whole new meta.
We must go deeper, Valdez. These are my Inception socks, my Unception. But here we go. Our final game of this series, it has come down to Game 5. And I mean, Rogue has just been bringing it back with a vengeance. They're pretty good, Valdez.
I love the socks, man. They're so good.
Big fan.
We're going to Game 5 here, guys. Can Rogue pull off the reverse sweep? Means that he gets a shot at 4th place here and a shot at Premier for next season. So here we go. Game number 5 going to start off right now on Frost.
All right, our last chance potentially to see one of these players in SSL. In the upper left-hand corner, it is Dead Pixels Impact. In the lower right, it is Rogue playing Virginia Air Green Wings, of course, that fly better fly onto
Lower
our
left.
lower left. What did I say? Did I say up
Lower
both
right.
times? Oh, okay. They've been cross spawns this entire. Well, no, I guess they haven't.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
We've come full circle.
We
know?
have. There we go.
On Whirlwind, we were on the right side. Now it's
we're on
game
the left.
5. We're on the left side.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, so all I want to do, all I want for Christmas, Valdez, is not my 2 front teeth, is just some normal ZVZ games. Showing how sad the caster is.
I don't know what Tong Tong Pa is. Maybe we can get the producer to help me out with that one. Waiting for it.
Maybe.
I don't think it's coming.
No, that was a little bit random too.
But he was saying, yeah, let's meet up next year, as they were saying. So he was crying.
So sad.
He wants to be on stage. I think after the success of the Korean casters and challenge, I think they deserve like a stage show. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is just fantastic. I really big fan of those guys. So let's talk about the game. It's going pretty well so far. No player with a clear advantage. I'm like, okay, has one player lost the game yet? As long as the answer is no, we're feeling good. So we might even get to go to a late game, Valdez.
Oh yeah.
It's too early to call that just
Let's
yet.
go to game 6.
We can certainly dream.
That's what I want to go to.
It turns into a best of 7 just because the games are so epic.
Yeah. We have a stalemate. We have a tie in game 5. We go to game 6.
Let's not get our hopes
Return
up
to
here.
Heart of the Swarm. It's like Swarm Host versus Swarm Host for some reason.
Heart of the Swarm Hosts.
Yeah.
That's what that expansion was called. But they might come back. Maybe that's how you get your value in ZVZs. Probably not, though.
Maybe someday. It would be a guy like Rogue to bring that in.
No doubt. No, that guy is all about coming up with the creativity. So it's a layer being morphed in, and Rogue was going to come in and scout that. I think he should commit to it. Needs to get in here and see what's coming. Oh, no! He doesn't break through and see the layer morphing at the natural.
That's so unfortunate. He could have just strolled in. He didn't want to lose his lings. He knows he's got speed on the way. So he could go for another pass, but there is a wall being placed at the front, so he may have missed his opportunity.
Wow, behind this, Rogue is not teching up. He is going to just go for a third base as well. And I mean, it's a big map, so theoretically, yeah, you can try to get away with that, but I don't know. I mean, if this, especially if Impact maybe tries to go ultra cheesy, and well, he does have the Roach Warren down here, but if he just goes for light Roach production and then into like a quick Spire, like things could really spiral out of control. I don't know, Valdez. This is, I'm glad that we do see a standard opening with now a deviation.
Speed finishes up here, and he might be questioning, like, hey, you don't have speed. Because Impact came over there, he got a really important scout, right? But it does give extra information to Rogue. He sees the Lings without speed, and he's like, where did that gas go? Did he just not take gas? I didn't see a third hatchery early, so what's going on? And so it looks like Rogue is preparing for an attack of his own.
Well, I mean, theoretically, with that extra base up, it should be on Impact to look to attack and stop Rogue from just massively out-droning him. So maybe pressure is coming, but trying to keep... No, you moved the Queen! What? I don't know about that move, but at least the Zerglings don't get through, but he will break through. See not only the Roach Warren, lots of Roaches, but that lair as well.
Yeah. I think he went to go inject at just the wrong time. And, well, Impact has a massive army of Roaches here. You see droning up, actually, by Rogue, so it's not. It seems like he's not even reading this all that correctly. I don't know if he saw the Roaches, but he definitely got in there and saw, hey, you got a Roach Warren, you still have no third base, what's going on?
Well, here's a ton of Zerglings on the way, and I love what Impact is doing. He has half the Roaches towards the back, and now he's going to bring them together and start to push out, but the Zerglings actually ran by, so if Rogue can get those all the way into the main, or even maybe surround Impact's forces, this is pretty tense.
Impact just has so many Roaches on the map right now. He has speed advantage and upgrade advantage up until this point when the Carapace did finish for Rogue.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting that you see Carapace being used here. Oh no, the wall left wide open. He's gonna get through, take out a Queen, and the drone's forced to be pulled, and Oh my god, it's such a big move by Rogue.
Well, he kept that queen alive at least, but definitely a big move by our man, the Roguester. Gonna go for the snipe.
Oh no, he gets another queen. This is terrible for Impact, starting to fall apart. He's trying to take a third base at the same time, but has to spend all this effort cleaning up Rogue Zerglings running by.
I feel like Impact is playing like a Heart of the Swarm Protoss or something, you know? Like, he's got the wall, he's sitting behind it, he doesn't want to get run by like this over and over. He takes like a super safe third base late. He's like, okay, I need to bring my death ball over to protect the third base. He's playing like so scared and so safe here in this game. And the extra production from that third base is really starting to kick in, along with the run buys that Rogue has been able to get here in this game.
This is a bunch of tech coming in here for Impact. He's getting Roach Burrow, he's getting Burrow, Roach Burrow movement, and +2 ranged ground weapons. So he is just investing a lot into technology, and when he just doesn't have quite as much on the ground, this could be where Rogue takes a critical advantage.
That Carapace is going to help out so much for those Lings. The extra units coming across the map. The Queen's in the back here for Impact trying to help out. But a very close fight looking like it's tipping in Rogue's favor.
We doubted it was possible. The reverse sweep coming in here. Reverse sweep, of course. The comeback may be here, but Roach is starting to fall. Critical mass being reached. Rogue rolling over Impact's forces.
He finally did it. All those upgrades, the timing of Rogue's attack was perfect. Right before +2, right before Burrow movement and Burrow. And it's going to pay off in dividends, including real life money that he'll win from this, and potentially a chance at making it into the fast lane.
I mean, this is crushing Impact with 2 early wins, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Rogue takes the reverse sweep over Impact to win the series 3-2.
What a beast. We were all doubting him. Well, I shouldn't group everybody else in with myself, but
you don't speak for me, Valdez.
I was doubting him pretty heavily, especially after game 2. I was like, what the hell is going on? 0-2 already, and third sighting of a wild bunny in his natural habitat.
Wild bunny appearing. He's not doing a good job blending in. Bunnies are not like way up there on the food chain.
He doesn't really give a damn. He's like, yeah, you guys are on camera.
The
I don't care.
bunster does not care. He buns where he pleases.
Yeah, he's got other stuff to worry about, like StarCraft. He's got a matchup against Jockey coming up next.
But wow, just what a sick series. I am so happy. For everybody that says, you know, I don't like mirror matches, they're all the same units. I'm like, okay, well, thank you for your expert analysis there. But also, these games are so sick. We had early aggression work out so well for Impact, and then he falls prey to his own kind of style, going a little bit too greedy, and then Rogue able to punish him, take it to a game 3, and take the series as well. And now we are going to get a closing interview with Rogue to hear some of his thoughts about this season of the SSL Challenge.
First off, Rogue, congratulations. It was a 5-set series. Didn't you get a little bit nervous halfway through after losing game 2? Rogue says, I was a bit nervous because Impact played a lot differently than I expected him to. But I stayed confident in my macro game, and I tried to sort it out there. Were you a little bit worried because of your recent online results as well? Because apparently they haven't been so good.
레더에서는 운영만 연습했는데 그걸 약간 활용을 못했던 것 같아요. 대회 때. 그래가지고 이제는 제 스타일대로 게임을 하려고.
I only practice a lot of different builds for the tournament. So it makes me practice my macro heavily on the ladder, so that's where my practice comes from. He says he's a little bit nervous because it's been a while since he's had an interview in front of an audience.
That's right, you can see the
floating head walks by.
The MST3K heads down there.
Yeah. Rogue says, the only thing I have to say about SSL Challenge is the time. I don't like how late it is. Seems like a pretty common complaint from all of our players.
That's why we made it earlier. It's like 3 hours earlier today.
Everybody agreeing that next season should be a little bit earlier. I would agree. It would be nice. Rogue says, I feel great knowing that it's all over. That it's all over now. He said it was so exhausting. Rogue being completely honest. Greencasters saying, why did we let him have this interview? We didn't know he was going to say this. All he's doing is complaining about the challenge time.
For everybody out there that doesn't know, challenge usually starts at like 10 p.m., but now it's at 7 p.m., so
Yeah.
it's earlier.
Anything else you'd like to say before we go? Rogue says that I thought I was eliminated last week, but I just found out that I still have a chance, so now I'm cheering for Bunny. And if he does make it to the fast lane, he will try his best. So guys, we are going to head to a quick commercial break. When we come back, it will be Bunny versus Jockey, a TVT for our second match of the night.